just turned 75 years old. It's time I figured out what I want to be when I grow up. So the first thing I thought of, I've got a lot of friends who play golf. I'm going to become a golfer. So I went on out to the course, but I tell you, I just got so frustrated trying to get the ball through the windmill, and then that clown mouth at the end. I do not need that frustration in my life, so I am not going to become a professional golfer. So I said, well, I always like languages, so maybe I'm going to become a linguist. I'm going to become an Apache linguist. It's a cool language, and I knew I'd never meet anybody who would correct my pronunciation. So, really tough language. I only remember one word, Apache, which is Apache for Apache. But I still put it on my LinkedIn profile. If you're looking for an Apache linguist, it's great. So, I tell you what, there's so many frustrating things in life today, like passwords. How many of you guys just love passwords? Not me. My password expired. I'm trying to get my money out of the bank. It says, you need a new password. You need to come up with 16 letters, numbers, alphabet, uppercase, lowercase, symbols, and throw in some Egyptian hieroglyphics and a modern dance step at the end there for additional security. This is crazy I'm talking about. Oh, and then they got this thing called dual factor authentication. Dual means two. That means it's going to take me 2 hours to get into that account. I do not need that frustration. And the security questions, they ask you these weird questions like, what was the name of the squirrel that threw acorns at you in 3rd grade? Well, and then they asked me that again. I just made up a name. I didn't know I had to keep it memorized. Come on, guys. And then the worst one at all, where they say, oh, don't use the same password for multiple accounts. I got 94 accounts. You expect me to memorize 16 characters so I can get into my accounts? I don't think so. So you know what I found? They've got this thing called a password manager. Great, I love password manager. That's gonna be the solution to all my problems. I go to the App Store, I find a good one, I hit download, and the first thing that shows up on my screen is enter your password. I'm over it. I don't need that frustration. There are just entirely too many decisions we have to make in life today. Like my wife sent me to the store to buy some toilet paper. Not a problem, right? I know how to get to a store. I turn down the aisle, and oh my gosh, there's 100 yards of toilet paper. Well, what type? Am I supposed to get Northern? Am I supposed to get Angel Soft? She didn't tell me what to get. And then I sent her, and I said, remember that age-old joke, does a bear poop in the woods? And the answer was yes. And I found out watching television that bears use Charmin. Who knew? So I said, I got it figured out. I go to the Charmin section, no more decisions. Oh my gosh, do I get ultra soft? Do I get soft? Do I get firm? Do I get sandpaper? Do I get tissue paper? What do I get? And I thought, I'm going to get the ultra soft, firm, lasting forever. Easy, decision made. And then I look at the packages again, and do I get a 6, an 8, a 13, a 36? She didn't tell me any of that stuff. I hate making those decisions, but I made one more decision. I decided to call my plumber and have him put in a bidet. So I'm a grandparent now. I've got kids. We probably have some of you had kids and grandkids. You wanted to do a good job raising your parents, right? But we make mistakes, and one of those mistakes, I'm telling you, if you ever allowed your kids to see the movie Mary Poppins, that was a mistake. I'll tell you what, we're trying to teach them skills so that they'll move out of the house. And what's she teaching? She's teaching them bring strange words to the dinner table, like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What does that teach a kid? And then when they should be learning a work ethic, she's saying, let's go fly a kite up with the highest stuff. Why is she teaching them kite flying? Why isn't she teaching things like, let's go read a book off in a quiet nook. Let's learn to multiply before the years go by. No, she's teaching them kite flying. But the absolute worst thing that woman does is her medical advice. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, what about kids with chronic conditions? Spoons become cups, cups become bushels, bushels become barrels of sugar, and that leads to childhood obesity and diabetes. Mary Poppins is not your friend. You got to wonder about Disney in the first place. I mean, did Disney have a mommy complex? I mean, you don't see a lot of mommies in Disney shows, do you, right? Like Cinderella, she was raised by an evil stepmom, okay, and Ariel, the Little Mermaid, where's her mom? Did she eat some bad seafood? Did she get harpooned by a fisherman, maybe? I don't know. She's just not there. And then a movie that came out just this last year, remember Snow White? Poor girl, she lives in this hovel. She's got rats and deer and mice and birds all over the place, and 7 suspicious little men. And you know what? There's not a Macy's, there's not a Starbucks anywhere in town. The only Target in town is on the middle of her back, put there by the evil queen. That's not a good start for a movie. So, you got to do what you got to do, but I'm telling you, not only that, she's also got a real highly allergic to apples. Anaphylactic shock, she's down for the count, right? You think, well, don't worry about it. There's a doctor there, right? Doc, some doc. Did you see a diploma anywhere on anybody's walls? That guy is not a doctor, I'm telling you. So who else we got? Well, we got Sleepy, chronic narcolepsy. He's no good. Next one, Happy. Why is he happy? I think it's the next one, Dopey, right? Dopey keeps them all happy. And then you got Sneezy, you got others, you got Grumpy. Grumpy. Why is he grumpy? Well, he's got this drop-dead gorgeous lady there, and his buddy Dopey won't sell him a blue pill. It's terrible. So I finally decided what I want to be when I grow up. I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly want to be. For if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with. Ain't no one wouldn't be in love with. Everyone would be in love with. In love with me. In love with me.